The automatic doors of St. Clair Medical Center slid open with a gentle hiss on a gray Tuesday morning. The busy emergency room, bustling with the usual mix of doctors, nurses, and waiting patients, fell momentarily silent. Heads turned, conversations paused, and eyebrows lifted as everyone took in the unexpected sight that had just walked in. A young black girl, no more than 12 years old, stepped into the hospital with a quiet but determined energy. Her arms clutched a crying white baby wrapped tightly in a faded pink blanket. The baby's pale skin and wisps of golden hair stood in sharp contrast to the girl's dark complexion and tightly braided hair. Her name was Alana Brooks, and she had been carrying 6-month-old Isabel Harris since before the sun rose. Her arms ached, her feet were sore, and the deep shadows under her eyes revealed a sleepless night. Yet Alana stood tall. She didn't flinch at the stares or the soft murmurs around her. The baby's cries echoed through the waiting area as she moved toward the front desk, her backpack, stuffed not with school books but with baby bottles and diapers, bouncing against her side with every step. Behind the counter, Nurse Melissa Tran stopped typing mid-sentence and stood up, eyes widening. She took in the girl's mismatched shoes, the wrinkles in her clothes, and most of all, the child in her arms. "Can I help you, sweetheart?" she asked, her tone gentle but alert. "The baby's sick," Alana said, her voice steady and far more mature than anyone expected. "She has a fever. I've been checking it since 3 in the morning. It started at 99, now it's up to 101.2. I used the thermometer from her mom's bathroom." She carefully shifted the baby to one arm and reached in her pocket, pulling out a crumpled piece of paper. "I wrote down all the times and temperatures," she said, holding it out. Another nurse, an older woman named Joyce, had already sprung into action, wheeling over a chair. "Sit down, sweetheart. You look like you've been carrying her for miles." "I'm okay standing," Alana replied, gently bouncing Isabel in her arms. "She cries more when I sit. She doesn't like it." Isabel, as if to prove the point, let out a sharper cry when a staff member tried to take her. Her tiny fist clutched Alana's shirt, and her sobs grew louder. More nurses and even a security officer moved closer, their faces showing concern. One hand hovered near a walkie-talkie, ready to call for assistance, but Alana remained composed, answering every question with clarity and focus. "Where's the baby's mother?" Nurse Tran asked, dialing the pediatric department. "I don't know," Alana answered, her voice lowering just slightly. "Miss Jenna asked me to watch her yesterday afternoon. She said she'd be back in 2 hours. That was 18 hours ago." The room grew quieter still. A young doctor who had been passing by stopped to listen. Alana's tone remained calm, though a flicker of emotion crossed her face. "I tried calling her. Her phone goes straight to voicemail. I used the formula in the diaper bag, changed Isabel's diapers, and I sang the song Miss Jenna always sings when she wants her to sleep." Soon, Dr. Rachel Lynn, the hospital's social worker, arrived. She had expected a crisis. Instead, she found a young girl who displayed remarkable poise and instinct. Alana answered questions with surprising maturity. "My mom works 2 shifts at Parker's Grill on Tuesdays and Wednesdays," she explained before they could ask. "I didn't want to bother her unless I had to." But when Isabel's fever wouldn't go down, she looked down at the baby, her voice faltering for the first time. "Miss Jenna always says, if anything's wrong, take her to St. Clair's. So I walked here." "You walked?" Dr. Lynn asked gently. "How far?" 30 blocks, Alana said like it was nothing. "I left when it was still dark. I didn't want to wait for the bus. Isabel doesn't like sitting when she's not feeling good." Medical staff prepared a room for the baby, and Alana finally let herself sit. Her arms trembled, but she never loosened her hold. Everyone in the ER watched her with awe. They didn't know it yet, but this moment was only the beginning of something much bigger, a story that would ripple through their community for months to come. Dr. Lynn guided her to a quiet room. The baby had finally calmed down, now snuggled into Alana's chest, making soft breathing noises. "Would you like some water?" the doctor offered. Alana nodded, and with a kind of practiced grace, managed to sip from the cup without disturbing Isabel. You're very good with her, Dar. Lynn noted. How long have you known them? Alana's face brightened slightly. They moved into 2B 3 months ago. I live in 2F with my mom. Miss Jenna works from home, and sometimes she asks me to help with Isabel during Zoom meetings. My mom used to run a daycare, so she showed me how to take care of babies. She said I could babysit, as long as it didn't mess with school. She doesn't know about last night, though. I didn't want to worry her. Isabel started to stir again. Without hesitation, Alana pulled a small stuffed rabbit from her bag. This is Mr. Binky. He's her favorite. Dr. Lynn watched, deeply moved. Can you walk me through what happened yesterday? She asked softly. Alana nodded. Miss Jenna knocked on our door around 3:30, right after school. She looked different, like when my mom is super tired. Her hair was messy and her eyes were red. She said she had errands to run and handed me the diaper bag and Mr. Binky. Alana paused, then added, she kissed Isabel's forehead and left. I took Isabel to their apartment. We played. I fed her and read the duck book she loves 3 times. When did you start to worry? When the sun started going down. Miss Jenna's always back when she says she'll be. Always. I called her, but it went to voicemail. I left messages. I even checked the baby monitor batteries when it beeped around midnight. But when Isabel's face started feeling warm, that's when I knew I had to get help. Dr. Lynn leaned in gently. You did the right thing. Alana's eyes, which had held so firm all morning, began to water. Miss Jenna would never leave her. She's been really sad lately. Sometimes I heard her crying when she thought no one was around. I think something's really wrong. Just then, Nurse Tran returned with a pediatrician. Dr. Patel examined Isabel while Alana watched like a hawk. She doesn't like her left ear touched, Alana warned. And keep Mr. Binky nearby, or she'll freak out. Dr. Lynn was astonished, not only by Alana's calm, but her level of care. After the initial medical check, they moved to the cafeteria. A kind nurse brought Alana a plate of hot food. I wasn't scared at first, she said between cautious bites. I've babysat a lot, but when it got dark, it felt different, like we were alone. She described her night, how she had warmed bottles the right way, how she used her school jacket as a blanket and sat beside Isabel's crib, holding her hand through the bars when the baby whimpered. She had looked up videos on calming sick infants. She even kept notes of every temperature reading, recorded carefully with the times. I wanted to call my mom so bad, she admitted, eyes misting again. But I knew she needed her job, and I didn't want anyone to think Miss Jenna's a bad mom. She's not. She's just tired and sad. Dr. Lynn reached out and took her hand. You did something extraordinary, not just for Isabel, but for Miss Jenna, too. Alana's mother, Mrs. Brooks, arrived not long after. Still in her diner uniform, she rushed into the room and pulled her daughter into a tight embrace. My brave girl, she whispered, kissing her forehead. Later that day, a call came through. They had found Jenna Harris at a nearby motel, safe but shaken. She had left home overwhelmed by the crushing weight of postpartum depression. She believed, in her exhausted mind, that Isabel was better off with Alana. She hadn't meant to be gone so long. She just couldn't make herself go back. Jenna was brought to the hospital not in handcuffs, but with care and compassion. She sobbed when she heard what Alana had done. She saved my baby, she repeated through tears. She saved her. They all gathered in a quiet room. Jenna, her sister who had come in from out of town, the hospital staff, and Mrs. Brooks. Isabel, now stable and alert, giggled when she saw Alana and reached out her arms. You took care of her, Jenna whispered, holding Alana's hands. Exactly the way I would have wanted. Better, even. Alana looked down, shy. She's a good baby. She just needed someone. They made a plan. Jenna would get help. Therapy, support groups, family involvement. Alana could still babysit, with her mom's permission and with regular check-ins. No one would be alone again. 3 months later, on a sunny Saturday, the apartment complex's garden buzzed with life. Kids played. Parents laughed. A new community had grown from that one hard night. At the center of it, Alana sat on a picnic blanket, stacking blocks with Isabel. Every so often, the baby would look up and chirp, "Lainey," her nickname for Alana. Across the garden, Jenna smiled, healthier and more grounded. "Who would have thought," she said to Mrs. Brooks, "that my worst day would lead to something this beautiful?" Alana looked around at the garden, the laughter, the flowers. She didn't feel like a hero. She just felt like someone who had done the right thing. Because when someone needed help, love meant showing up, even if your arms were tired and the road was long. And that, she realized, was more than enough.